And do a roll call
Yep.
for you.
Please.
Robert Hannon.
I am here.
Richard Berlandi. Rich, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Perfect. David Fox.
I'm here.
Robert Eisner. He called us ahead and said that he'll be out of state. Neil Kelsey.
Yeah, I'm here.
Mark Simpson.
Here.
And Ned Stachin. Ned also said at the last meeting he wouldn't be here. He's away as well. So, and then we got Emily Brick and Robert Canto. And these will be these bringing. No. And Dylan is here and Biv's here. Good.
So we've got 5 members, so we do have a quorum, so we can go ahead and get the meeting started.
Perfect.
So call it to order. First item on the agenda is Town of Farmington.
Okay. Go ahead, Dylan. It's all you.
Okay. Good evening, Commission. My name is Dylan Riley, speaking for the Town of Farmington on its application for tree removals within the wetland areas and upland review areas of the Farmington Heritage Trail from Brickyard Road to Red Oak Hill. Basically, our project area is from Brickyard Road to Red Oak Hill. The purview of the project is trees within a 10-foot limit of the paved area of the trail to be cleared or trimmed. We have had an arborist out to the site to help further select trees and dwindle down our numbers. The project also would include the eventual paving or repaving of that section of the trail entirely. And a lot of this is due to truck access and getting the trucks in there without damaging the trees. Because we do have to have the triaxles lift their beds fully to do a paving operation. So that adds a good amount of height to the cleared area that's required. Also being cleared are trees that are diseased, rotting, or otherwise not thriving in their current locations. Those trees will also be removed, and then anything that is deemed dangerous to safety on the trail or something of that matter outside of that 10-foot limit would also be taken care of at that time. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now.
Okay, Rich, I'll start with you.
I don't have any questions. This seems to be like a maintenance thing to me, maintenance and safety. So no questions. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Dave?
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a maintenance and safety issue. I did have a couple of questions just for my information. Are the number of trees that you specified on the various slides, I think it added up to 115 or something like that, are those the trees that are within our regulated area, or is that the total number of trees for the whole project?
Trees within the regulated area.
Okay, that's what I thought, because it seems like there's a whole lot of white spots on the trees.
Yeah.
I've been on the trail a few times since last meeting. There's a lot coming down. My other question was, just out of curiosity, what is the clearance height for this equipment? Because it seems like a lot of the overhang is 30, 40 feet up, 50 feet up in the air.
I'm not 100% sure what the actual clearance height is, but it's got to be somewhere between probably 25 and 35, maybe 40 feet at the highest, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Dave. Neil?
Nothing from me.
Okay, thanks. Mark?
No questions except when is this project going to start? We talked about it last time, but I forgot.
The tree clearing was originally planned for July, and the paving was originally planned for probably August. A lot of the paving schedule was more dependent on the Midpoint Development Project off of Farmington Ave, where they're lowering the trail.
Yep.
So that is subject to change.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thanks. I just have sort of a general question, which isn't specifically related to the trail here. But having the arborist out there, have you found a lot of like dead ash trees, things of that nature, because of some of the wildlife that seemed to make its way into Connecticut and it's destroying a bunch of the trees, the hardwoods in particular?
I'm not 100% sure what his thoughts were about the hardwoods, but I do know that he did go through and select a number of trees that were dying and diseased and not thriving on top of what we picked. And he also took some trees off of our list that we have picked that he said was that they were good and strong trees and made no sense of clearing.
Okay, no, that's also good to know. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions. That was just sort of a general question I was curious about.
Yep. No, I understand. I can probably get that answer for you
as well.
Yeah.
All right, so Bruce, the application was accepted at the June 7th meeting.
Yes.
So I'm assuming all we need to do is have a vote on it today.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I thought we did that last week, didn't we? Didn't we do the determination? No. All right, I apologize. The boss over here reminded me that we didn't do, so we'll have to update that. So just give a determination of non-significance or sorry, determination of significance and then just vote on the application.
So you want a motion
We can.
to say that this is a non-significant activity?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, would somebody care to make that motion? I mean, I agree with it, but would somebody care to make the motion?
This is
Mark
Rich.
here.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay.
Who was the other one?
You guys can duke it out after the meeting.
Oh, that was Mark, right?
Oh,
Mark.
Yes, Mark. He was,
I understand we have a
Who's on
motion on the
first?
floor to identify this project as a non-significant activity. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Abstaining, objecting. Okay. Can I now get a motion to approve the application as submitted? Were there any conditions on it, Bruce? I didn't see anything.
No. Nope.
Okay.
Just anything discussed during the meeting. So
Okay. All right. So can I get a motion to approve the application, please?
well, I'll let Rich move it and I'll do a second.
All right, we can do that.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion on the floor to approve the application of the town of Farmington. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Good luck with the project.
Thank you.
Next item up is Farmington Land Trust.
Yep.
Project on Mountain Spring Road.
and we have Biff Messenger here. Biff, are you there? You're on mute, Biff. There we go. Nope, you're back on mute. Take it off mute. There you
There
go.
we are. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, huh? Okay. Oh, well, how many minutes did that take me? Okay. Actually, there's two exhibits, but one is, I guess we're talking about this one, right, Bruce? Focus on this,
Yes.
and then I'll mention the other one in passing later. This is a 13.77 acre site that's off of Mountain Spring Road. It's called Clouder Valley Trails. It's a Clouder Valley Road trails that goes from here up the mountain east. We're proposing to take out the 6-inch curb, bituminous curb, and do a Cape Cod mountable curb for 112 feet along it. Along Mountain Spring Road, it's on the east side of the road. And then we have a plus or minus 64 foot long, 3.5 foot wide plus or minus trail that's damp there, and we were just going to put a load of broken stone as a footing, and to keep, you know, instead of it and keep it from eroding down into the that section gets a little steep just as you come out of the parking area. So we thought we'd stabilize that. There's a hemlock tree where we cut it off because it flattens out a bit there. Now this is on like I said, 13.77 acre site. There's 4.26 acres of wetlands on it, but we're in the upland review area. The one thing, if you see the hand that's moving around in the hatched area, that's an easement for the neighbors north of us, the Adamitis family. We're getting a letter from them allowing for the improvements within that easement. And so basically we're looking at with broken stone on a geomembrane to keep it, we're looking at this property, the 9528. It's over on the left-hand side of here is where where the parking area is going to be. Cloud Valley Road Trail goes here and then goes into the lot that's to the north and east of it, which is 8706. So it wanders along there and starts going uphill. It goes up there. And the reason that's prudent on the northeast one is because we have a second proposal that's purely for disturbance of a footing area on either side of a cross of a creek. We're going to build a 22-foot clear, that's a clear span of 22 feet up there of a little side creek that comes down. They don't want to cross the creek and go down into the little ravine that it's in. So we're proposing, where's that second drawing?
Oh, you want to, okay, I'll switch it over.
Yeah, well, since we're talking about real fast, there, next, there. If you can see in the far left,
corner.
yeah, up on the right there, that's where the little bridge is going to be. Now we're going to get, we have an easement, the Clouder Valley Trail has an easement over this site from the Reiner family. So we have a letter coming from them allowing us to pursue this. And we're only looking at 64 square feet roughly of impact in an upland review area there, because that's just for where we're going to block out the wood, base for this thing. They're going to truck all the lumber in individually and hand build it, so it should be minimal disturbance. But I have to come back to you for that. But there it is, and there's a schedule on the right hand side talking about the members required for it. But the one we're talking about right now is on the far left at the bottom of the drawing. Right there's the parking and then a little trail improvement, and so we're talking 112 linear feet of curbing to be pulled out and refabricated Cape Cod mountable curb there, and then 10-foot deep. Like 2-inch broken trap rock, several, what I have 6 inches of that, or 6 to 8 inches deep on that, on a geotextile membrane, just to keep it segregated from the soil above it. And it's going to be graded exactly the way it is now, which it comes down and heads, everything sheet flows to the southwest. And we're going to keep the same grading. I think if the Cape Cod fence is in, we may actually have water running down our gravel driveway and then discharging down into the wetland crossing that's down below us, because the grades pick up that flow at the bottom of the pavement and actually goes due south and goes down into where the stream comes in and then goes in a cross culvert under Mountain Spring Road. So we don't think we'd be adding any extra runoff onto Mountain Spring Road, and frankly we may actually be picking up some of it and pushing it down into the stream corridor before it goes underneath Mountain Spring Road. So this will not in any way, I think, affect any volume of water going on to Mountain Spring Road.
I've got some pictures from when I met with Peter Dorpelden back then. And we had, when they were looking at where the cars are parked, is kind of where that parking area would be. So
yeah, it's all grassed right now. And we have now, one thing we have to do is move that. If you go back that one photograph first, yeah, it's on the plans too, where we located where the traffic speed limit sign is. So we're requesting to move it north about 20, 40, I forget exactly. 20, 40 feet.
Mm-hmm. And here's the site, because we're doing sight lines. Sight lines were adequate here. Here's the car.
That's going north, that's south, yeah.
That's going south, yep. And this is the cars being all parked off the edge of the road. So, and I think the trail is right there, right?
That's correct. Yeah, you can see the steep little, starting part at the trailhead there. That's why we want to put some broken stone on that as well. And it levels up about 60 some feet up if you're going due east from where Looks like Peter's standing there next to Steve Nelson. If you go up there, that's where we're adding the 64 plus or minus feet of trail stabilization broken stone as well.
Here's where the crossing, the wetland is all in the back, downhill here, and then the crossing is right underneath Mountain Spring Road there.
Yeah, right where that sunlight is, yeah.
Yeah, there's some, and that's over there. We just were looking at some of the trees, but there's the wetland down in there and crosses underneath there.
Yeah, so there's no tree clearing. It's already on a grass shoulder area, so that's the terrain that would be disturbed.
And the reason we broke this up was because the bridge is on a totally separate piece of property with a different owner. We wanted to get a separate application for that with the approval of that owner, and we wanted to continue with this application because this needs to go to planning and zoning under the scenic roads ordinance. So it's going to require a public hearing. So we've got to get that application through them. So the intention is that this is all hopefully approved before we go into the August recess. So that's why I wanted to keep this going. So next week we should, our next meeting, we should have the application for the bridge, and then that'll all be right in front of you as well. So
right, but we perceive that we're hoping that the bridge will be construed as right form of maintenance for trail improvement or trail maintenance. But that's something, right, Bruce, that we're trying to clarify.
Yeah, we'll see. And that's why I asked you guys to provide some pictures of the crossing. And
they're coming in. Oh, I forgot to say, we're having pictures of the actual crossing area of the stream corridor they're trying to span, that so that you can see the character of that crossing.
Okay.
So we'll have that with the letters from both of the two easement owners or owners of the property outright. Reiner owns the northeast parcel outright. We have a cross easement, and the people to the north of us at the one that we're talking about right now for the parking, they have a cross easement over our property where part of the trail goes through. Hence the letters we should be having. We have emails from them, but we told them we need formal letters on letterhead, so we can submit them.
And I'm not sure who was on the committee when this was approved way back in, what was the date of this thing? I forget now.
Was it
this was the Wand success,
the Wand property. It was like the middle of the
what is it? What's the date?
2014 or something?
Yeah, I want to say it was 20.
Yeah, it is 2014.
Yeah, 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
So this was if people are familiar, of course, why would it?
There we go. I thought only I did that, Bruce. Jeez.
Being very temperamental. So this is where there was 3 lots off this little private road they were going to build. This was all donated to the Farmington Land Trust, this property. So since that time, the property was purchased by a separate owner who's now combined all these lots into one. So this subdivision is null and void at this point, and the owner had expressed interest that in the future they'll come back for a single family home on this property. So all this property with the Clatter Valley Trail stuff was all donated through the development of this subdivision.
Right. And so you can clearly see the 42.26 acres of wetlands on this 13-acre site. But again, we're in the upland, fortunately in the upland review area for this as well as for the bridge request.
And the parking area, like as we showed, is like right down in here.
Correct.
So.
Yeah, and we have no intrusion at all in any of the wetlands.
Anything else, Biff?
No, I think that's for general overview. I'd take some questions from the commission, though.
All right, Rich, start with you again.
The only concern I have is maybe that stone that you're proposing getting kicked up and ending up in the roadway. But I don't know what else you could do.
We're hoping the back lip of the asphalt will block it. We can always put we'll have a lip there, obviously. The nice thing is that I think the stone is going to be, people rolling on will compact it. I don't think we're going to get a lot of thrown, we're going to get some picked up, especially people drive larger SUVs. The tire treads are a little wider. They'll pick up a few of them, but I think with use that'll compact down, and I'm sure we'll end up with a little lip on the back side of this Cape Cod curve. Fortunately, because it's only, the clearance is about 4.5 inches, but it's instead of the standard 9 inches wide, it's 12 inches wide. So it's a nice solid buffer between the pavement edge and the proposed rock, we believe.
Yeah, and it's a mountable curb
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. Has the highway department weighed in on this?
Not yet. I've got to talk to the director of I got to talk to Russ Arnold, our director of Public Works, on this. So we're going to go over this. We had chatted about it in the past. In concept, we're all on board. It's just going to be the final little details. So hopefully I'll be able to get that this week or next week before the next meeting.
Okay, that's the only questions I have. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Rich. Dave?
I don't have any questions about this this application, but I do have a question on the sequel. You said the bridge is going to span a creek, but it looks like it's in the upland review area, and there's no wetlands delineated that you're crossing.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a water course, but there's no wetlands associated with the water course. I think that's why they're spanning. It's a steep little, little notch that it goes down through.
Dave, it's right here. Here's the wetlands here. Okay. And then this is a little intermittent stream that was flagged off.
Okay.
Of that. So this
and it's up into that. That's it. Yeah.
And this is where these intersect.
Okay, that makes sense now, because that didn't show on
the other plan. The scale on the other plan, because of the distance between, I went to have them all in the same one sheet. That scale is a large. What I have it 100, an inch to 100 on the second plan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, there will be. We have to come to you because we're crossing the stream, obviously. But there's no wetlands associated with the stream corridor because of the steepness, which is why they want to have the bridge go across the little defile that it goes through.
Okay, that makes sense now. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks, Dave. Neil?
Just to clarify the path, is that you're just laying stone over something that's already there? You're not doing any digging or move? Okay.
Yeah, the trails, a dirt trail where it comes off of the parking and goes east up towards, you can see the contours are a little closer together there. It's a little steep. And, we just want to, I think it'll keep everything cleaner. And we won't wear out the hillside right where people are going to, obviously there's going to be a high traffic concentration for what little high traffic they're going to get. They're all going to go to that trailhead right above the number 4 there. So we thought, let's stone it for the first, 40, 50 feet. And then we actually went in the field and looked, and 60 feet was about where that big hemlock is. And by then it levels out. And so that made sense.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
All right, thanks, Neil. Mark?
Yeah, I only have one question, and Dave kind of touched on one part of it. The bridge that's going over that creek, how far away is it from the creek where the footing is going to be put?
Well, that's why I need the photos. They'll be up on either side. The span of the thing's 22 feet. From the specs that I was given by the Farmington Land Trust, when I get the photos, I can go up there and I can measure and give you an exact, give distance. So when you're looking at the photographs, I can explain the distances on it for you.
Yeah, I figured that picture there I'm seeing is something somebody just took a picture and threw it in there, and that's not the real.
Well, that's the type of bridge they're going to build. It's going to look like that, but that's not it.
There wasn't enough information. So I think the next time around, when we have that, we'll have a better understanding.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thanks, Mark. The only question I have is just want to make sure that I fully understand what you're talking about with part of the trail, because if you're talking about roughly 6 inches of crushed stone, gravel, whatever term you want to put on it, you're going to have to dig down. So I was just wondering that you're not planning on sort of trenching, even if it's only 2 or 3 inches deep, the trail there. That's just going to be left natural right now, and you're putting the stone over that?
Yes. We will have to skim off the top. I think we're going to have to skim off the topsoil on underneath the gravel. You're right, on the gravel parking here. But we can use that, spread it out on the edge of the gravel, maybe, you know, and lose on site. It's not a lot of area. It's what's it, minus 12. So it's about 1,000 square feet.
You know, I don't have a problem with it either way. I just want to make sure that I'm clear of what the intent is on the path, because I mean, it almost seems like if you have the equipment there to take out the soil to be able to put in the gravel parking, I'm just wondering if it's not a bad idea to take out, you know, 2 or 3 inches of stone, you know, or 2 or 3 inches of the soil, whether it's 3 feet wide, 4 feet wide, just so when you put the stone in there, it has a place to stay. You're not going to start knocking it all over the place. I mean, and that's just asking the question as to what the intent was with that. So it just sounds like you're planning on putting the stone right over the existing trail. So, and
I think we'll give that consideration. We can verify that at the next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, again,
that's a good point.
If the equipment's there,
yeah,
maybe
the only thing I worry about is hitting roots, etc. You know.
Yeah. So, all right, I don't have anything else on it.
And
so I guess Bruce, you're looking for 2 things. One, you're looking for a motion to accept the application, and you're also looking for a motion that it is not a significant activity.
Yeah. And just so everyone's aware, just this is the open, this is the open space. The Farmington Land Trust is open space. This is part of the property to the north. So this is where the trail's cutting through. This is under a conservation easement. So hence why I carried this agenda item also to the Conservation Commission.
Right.
Just to make
Yeah, and for us to be able to act on it at the next meeting, the letters are going to have to be in from the neighbor.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, we told them that too. So
again, we got confirmation and affirmation from them on emails, and I turned around and said, no, that's not, you know, I need a formal letter, you know, stating with a formal signature on it and getting it in. So they're busy doing that. But we've already had feedback from the 2 owners that's been positive. But I agree with you. I want to get those letters in so everybody feels comfortable that what we're proposing.
Understood. I'm just letting you know that if the letter's not in by the next meeting, I'm not inclined to put this on for a vote. So
understood.
Okay.
Nor should you. I was hoping to have them by today, but I'll have them before the end of the week.
No, that's fine. So I appreciate that. So first thing, can I get a motion to accept the application, please?
So moved by Dave.
Is there a second?
Second, Mark.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to accept the application. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? 1 down. Can I get a motion that this is not a significant activity?
So moved, Rich.
Mark.
Okay, that's okay. We've got a first and a second. So motion on the floor saying that this is not a significant activity. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Okay, so that clears up those 2 issues, and the earliest we can vote is at the next meeting.
Yep.
Which is what, Bruce?
I put in here, what is that, the 20? You got it.
July 31st?
Tonight.
Was it the 30th?
July.
Oh, July 12th.
July 12th.
July 12th. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Biff.
Thank
My
you very
pleasure.
much.
Thanks all. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
You too.
You too.
Planners report. Do you have anything?
One small thing, not for much discussion, just to give everyone a heads up. We are working on a revision to the industrial zone, which is going to allow a little more. We're giving benefit to some people that want to do a increased impervious coverage. As it stands right now, it's a 40% maximum. However, they can go up to 50% with a 5-6 vote of the Planning Zoning Commission. We are looking at possibly giving some credit to allow them to increase that impervious coverage. However, with it comes a lot of extra requirements with regards to doubling the water quality volume treatment through the stormwater system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys out a draft once that's finished up, just so you guys can see it. They're going to have a hearing with the planning and zoning commission, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up because it deals with water quality, stormwater. There's not a lot of the commercial properties that actually are near the wetlands, but there are a handful that down along the Plainville line that actually discharge right out into the wetlands. So just wanted everyone to give a heads up. They can look at it. Have any comments? Feel free please feel free to get back to us. All right.
Yeah, I want to bring up one thing under this though.
Under what? Plans
Under
report?
plans report.
Okay.
Because you generally tell us all the data about the household hazardous waste collection day.
Hmm?
I want to ask the town if they can start working out some details so that when they do the shredding, it's not limited to 2 boxes. Because I went to Simsbury and they take more than 2.
Okay.
So, just saying.
Simsbury more than 2 boxes. All right. Let me find out about that. I'm not sure if there was a limit, if that was through us or what.
About a limit of 2 boxes per person.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
All right. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the June 7th, 2023 Wetlands meeting. I got a motion to approve the minutes.
Dave will make the motion.
Is there a second?
Rich will second.
Okay. So I have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes of the June 7th, 2023 Wetlands meeting. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? I will abstain because I was not here. So that closes the Wetlands meeting, and we have Conservation Commission meeting. I've got like 7:32. We'll start the Conservation Commission meeting. So Bruce, you've got on it new business.
I have it on the agenda for discussion. We can discuss, or we can just table it until next meeting when you guys, if you decide to vote on the trail improvements, if they do have everything in hand.
No, when you were talking about this, though, were you talking about mostly the bridge, or were you talking about the little bit in front of Mountain Spring Road? And
A little bit in front of Mountain Spring, because that's where the conservation easement is. Right here is conservation easement. This is lopped off as conservation easement. And this is all owned by the Farmington Land Trust as open space. So this is really the only easement area that we have. It's technically, I have the document, it's an easement to both Farmington Land Trust and the town of Farmington to maintain a trail, and it is over the easement. So I usually just like to dot my I's, cross my T's, so everything gets voted on properly.
Yeah, I would say take it up at the next meeting.
Okay.
We're dealing with the application as well.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I think the same way. Until we get the letters to give approval, I don't think we should be voting on anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, but okay, we'll keep that in mind. So that's one of the other things we'll have to take up at the next meeting, assuming all the documentation comes in.
And I don't have anything under those too. I don't know if you guys do for any kind of land acquisition committee information or anything.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Planners report, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the June 7th, 2023 Conservation Commission meeting?
So moved, Mark.
Is there a second?
Dave will second.
Okay, have a motion on the floor to approve the June 7th, 2023 Conservation Commission meeting minutes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? I will abstain. And I believe at 7:34, we're done.